Alright guys, so in this video I'm just gonna quickly show you like so in the last video I showed you how you can access the router, like, where to plug in your console cable and which port the console cable actually connects to. So in this video I'm just, and then okay, of course, yeah, you have to select the baud rate and stuff, right? So once you excuse me, once you click next, you'll see the CLI, right, like the command line interface, where you actually enter all the configuration and commands. So I'm just going to show you that on a packet tracer what it looks like. So in packet tracer, I'm gonna grab one of the router over here. Let's grab Cisco router 2901. That sounds good. Yeah, this is a pretty famous router. Oh, by the way, if you are using packet tracer, quick tip: if you want to like add modules to it, so for example, this router has like like few ports, but if you want to add, like, let's say, switch module to it, you want to first shut this down. So if you see here where I'm pointing the arrow, so just turn that off. You so I don't know if you able to see it, but that basically turned off the light, means actually shut down the router. So now you just go through here, and once you click on all these modules, you'll see like what module it is. So all that, this one, oh, not that one, this one, and if you want the switch module, which is like port 4 port, you can just drag and drop anywhere you like, right there. That's fine, right? And then now you want to turn on the router, and then here on the CLI, so if you go to config, oh, it's still loading, but yeah, this is the CLI that you'll actually see everything load. If you look at your router too, it will do the same thing. This is the config if you want to like do all that stuff, but you don't need to worry about all this for now, because you can do all the config here, like routing, static, you can do that here, but we're gonna do all that using the command line interface, because we don't have something like this in the real world. All we have is the CLI. So what you can do here, exit out. So when you open up the first time you boot the router, you'll get a prompt. Once you wanna, on that prompt, it will say, do you want to go through everything? Just hit no, and then you'll see this over here. You want to do enable, and then do config terminal, and now you can do all your config here. Also, if you want to, like, let's say, change a host name, right, like say from router, oops, so host name, and then I'll just type in let's say host name nettech r1. Oops. So yeah, so you can't have space in the host name, right? So if you put an invalid command, you'll see this error show up, and it will actually point like where you made the mistake. So it's showing that, okay, this is invalid, the space, right? So you can hit the up arrow to bring back the command, and use the left arrow to move the cursor to the left, and then hit underscore. Underscore is allowed, so it will accept that. Also, if you want to know like what commands you can run, you can always hit question mark. So here in this mode you can run this many commands, right? Let's say we do VLAN, for example. What can we run? So it says you after VLAN, that's the only word we have for the command. So but if you hit space and question mark, then you'll see, okay, we can do VLAN database, and then we can also hit question mark. So it's it's showing that nope, if it's a CR, means you just hit enter, there is nothing else that can go with it. So yeah, and once you type that in, so it gives you the output of that command, whatever that command means. If you want to and yeah, so you have to exit to exit out of that. if you want to save the configuration that you just made, you run this command, copy running config into the startup config. Right, so like basically whatever is running, you want to save that. The file, so when it says, if where do you want to save it, you just select hit enter basically, because you don't want to you want to save the stuff into the same file that you were editing basically, like where you have the saved files when the router starts up. So hit enter, and then as you can see it said building configuration. It said okay, means everything is saved. And now if your router reboots, your configuration will be saved. So so once I reboot the router, it will still have the host name that I configured. By the way, if you want to reload, like reboot the router, you just do reload, hit enter, and it's gonna reload the router. Just make sure you save your configuration before that though, otherwise nothing will get saved. So if you do make a mistake and you think there is nothing, there is no way to change that back, you can always do that reload option and it will undo all the changes. So it is useful, but it is also deadly, because you never want to reboot a live environment router. But if you're doing staging or for your personal thing, yeah, that's fine if you reboot it. But again, just make sure you save the configuration if you need that config. If you don't need the configuration, just reboot it and you'll be back to square one. So as you can see, the hostname is still showing up as nettech r1. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll create a new video on other like useful commands and how to configure a router and switch. So stay tuned for that, and take care.